Hi everyone, my name is Intan Nafitri binti Machamud, and today I'll be presenting on a very important topic, toxic workplace culture. This issue is becoming more common in many organizations, and it's something that affects not just employee but also the company's success and reputation. What is toxic workplace culture? So first, what do we mean by a toxic workplace? Basically, it's a work environment that harms employees mentally, emotionally, and even physically. You might see it through bullying, favoritism, gossip, poor communication, or an excessive workload. When this kind of culture continues, employees start feeling stressed, unmotivated, and eventually they might leave the organization. What does this matter so much? Because a toxic workplace doesn't just affect one person, it spreads. It causes low morale, burnout, and high turnover. It also breaks trust between team members, reduces productivity, and damages the company's image. So, addressing it isn't just an HR task, it's an ethical and legal responsibility for the whole organization. Now, let's look at the causes. Most of the time, toxic culture happens because there's no clear code of conduct or employees are afraid to report misconduct. Sometimes, leaders show favoritism or performance evaluation aren't fair. And poor communication can make everything worse. People stop giving feedback and problems are swept under the rug. In Malaysia, there are several laws and policies that protect employees. For example, the Employment Act 1950 control issues like misconduct and excessive working hours. The Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 ensures safety, health, and welfare at work, including mental health. There's also the HR Code of Conduct introduced in 2020, which promotes integrity, fairness, and respect. And finally, the Workplace Harmony Policy, which encourages open communication and fair complaints channels. Let's take a look at some real cases in Malaysia. The first one is Uniqlo Malaysia. In 2025, hundreds of employees commented on the company Instagram post, claiming that they face a toxic work environment. They mentioned sudden cancellation of annual leaves, favoritism in promotion, and HR ignoring complaints. The company later acknowledged the issue and promised an internal review. The second case is 7-Eleven Malaysia. A senior HR manager claimed she was bullied and unfairly dismissed, and she sued the company for RM96.9 million. Other employees also complained online about unreasonable workloads and lack of rest. Both cases show how serious the consequences can be legally and reputationally. So what are the impacts? For employee, emotional distress, anxiety, burnout, and poor teamwork. For organizations, high turnover, lower productivity, reputational damage, and even legal risk. In short, everyone loses in a toxic culture. Now, how can we prevent this? It starts with leadership and HR. Companies should establish a clear, healthy workplace policy. Train leaders to be empathic and conduct regular workshops on communication and stress management. There should also be anonymous feedback channels, and employees should be recognized for their hard work. For reporting, employees can go to HR or a compliance officer. HR must investigate confidentially and fairly. If the issue is serious, it can be reported to Department of Labor, JTK, or MACC for corruption or misconduct, and most importantly, there should be follow-up support and counseling for victims. To conclude, toxic workplace culture is not just a behavior problem, it's an ethical, legal, and well-being issue. HR plays a vital role in ensuring that every employee feels safe, respected, and supported. A positive culture always begins with ethical leadership where people are valued, heard, and treated fairly. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope this talk helps raise awareness on how we can all contribute to building a healthier and more harmonious workplace. That's all. Thank you.